Here's a quick video about a Fruity Loops plugin called Transistor Bass. This is a plugin that I neglected to use for a while, so I'm happy to talk about it for a little bit. The main reason I didn't use it enough was because of the presets right here. When you go to the presets, there's nothing, unlike any other plugin. And you start hitting the buttons, and it just starts taking you to different random sounds, different random sequences. Some of these sounds are really good, but inevitably, there's nothing that you can do that ties one sound into another without having to do a lot of fooling around, and that's not practical when you're trying to do a live set. This right here was one of my favorite sounds and one of my favorite patterns, so it's a great thing to start with that. What I did was I took a screenshot of it, and then I went back up to the presets and decided to make my own. And once I loaded my own preset, you can see I have this. The first thing that deterred me is that when you use all of your own presets, they start off empty like this. It's just plain notes, plain sounds, nothing going on like the factory one, and you just can't copy the factory one and reuse it. You could if you go through the computer and do all that. But I decided to take it upon myself to do something more unique. And once I took the screenshot, I made 4 exactly the same, except I started changing some basic features. On this one, you'll see the primary thing I changed was the pitch on the sequencer. Everything else about it is exactly the same from top to bottom. But here's where it gets to be more fun, because now essentially I can use these as their own patterns and play them back however I would like, because each one of these patterns is built into its own key on the keyboard, and that's what they decided to call the programs. The programs are what's actually attached to the keyboard notes. Once I made 4 programs of the same sound, that's when I went down and just started fooling around in the sequencer. What I decided to do even further with some of those other sounds that I really liked, I started copying the pitch, and I set the pitch exactly the same, but in different ways. And this one I set 4 different patterns for it. And you can see the primary thing that changes with this one is just the sequence itself. I made 2 patterns with the same pitch, but different sequences. And then likewise, I made 2 patterns with ever so slightly different pitch variations, but I stayed within what the pattern was already doing. So this way I could play this for a little while and then go into this. And I took it a step further, made this sequence, but it's the exact same pitch values as the first sequence. And then this is the same sequence, but the same pitch as the second one that we heard. You can see here the pitch stays the same between that one and that one. But likewise with the first one and this one, you see it's the program's changing. With this program, it's that pitch. So that's the main thing that I feel like is really important to pay attention to. The other thing is, as you go along and adjust values, even with this one, for example, once I turn a knob and I hit right, this is the other thing that's really important. You can see that you have the asterisk next to your preset value. This is where you go in and you hit save preset as, and you make sure that whatever folder it gives it to you, this is going to be your default Fruity Loops folder. I already have one, but I'm going to hit save anyway, and I replace it. Because this way, whatever value I changed is going to be applied to the preset the next time it loads. And I'm not going to lose anything that I did. The asterisk will stay there for a little bit until I start fooling around and doing other things. Now, with the last one, this is the best one I did. I applied everything to this. You can see I changed the sequence a little bit. The other thing I did that's important with this one is the main wave. So you can see up top is not just the sequence changing, and the sequence change is slight. It's not that serious. It's just enough to keep it interesting. So that way, each time it goes up 2 beats. I probably just used that phrase wrong, but that's alright. Everybody uses bar. Every 16 beats is 1 bar. Every time you get 1 bar out of it, you can go up to another. I like doing 2. And that's how I found that you can use Transistor Bass as a really useful plugin with some working around on it. You have to make sure that you manage your preset, save it regularly. You have to make sure that you paste the same thing into the program that you want or the key slot that you want 3 or 4 times, whatever you prefer, maybe even up to 8, get a full octave out of it. I managed to do this for 4 keys up here, 4 keys down here, and then this pattern down here. And that's just the beginning of it. I plan to do a lot more, make a couple other presets, maybe even load them up eventually. This is by far my favorite one, and you can see I used the Saucy preset from Fruity Loops. I duplicated all the settings from the waveform to the reverb to the sequence and the pitch. But then with this one, as I made the 4 different ones, I started, like I said, to make the waveform change through the different sequences, with the different sequences along with them. So happy writing. I hope you had a great time. I hope this helps you as much as it helped me, and I'm going to keep posting up some progress on this and keep applying it to the next track that I'm going to make. I can't wait to work on it. This is going to be, probably this bass line here is going to be the feature of the next track, Persistence. It's going to take me a little while to get to it with everything I have going on, but please let me know if this is a use to you.